Hi, I'm Marina, and today I'm going to be talking about critical language pedagogy, also known as CLP, a model that goes beyond traditional language teaching by connecting language with power, identity, and social justice. Critical language pedagogy is rooted in critical theory, especially in the work of the Brazilian author Paulo Freire. It challenges the idea of the classroom as a neutral space, and instead it sees language learning as a political and transformative act. CLP encourages both teachers and students to question how language reflects systems of power, including race, class, gender, and nationality, and how we can use language to resist oppression and create change. Some key principles or characteristics of CLP include encouraging critical thinking and reflection by analyzing and questioning whose perspectives are included, whose are excluded, and what ideologies are being reinforced. Connecting language to real world social issues with meaningful content like news, media, and real life situations. Also, the fact that it's dialogical, this means that both teacher and students learn from each other through dialogue, and this creates a space where everyone's contributions are valued. And lastly, the fact that it inspires change. When students begin to recognize the link between language and power, they begin to use language as a tool for social change, and it encourages them to speak out, challenge injustice, and imagine alternative realities. Critical language pedagogy has several strengths. It helps students be eager learners and think critically about the world around them. It promotes inclusion, recognizing the value of different identities and language in the classroom. It empowers students by giving them a voice and a safe space to question injustice without any type of judgment and where their opinions are valued. And lastly, it promotes inclusion and identity. It validates learners' backgrounds and experiences, and it creates a classroom space where all identities are respected and valued. However, CLP does have some challenges. I divided them into the three main ones. The first one is biased teaching. While CLP encourages critical reflection, it can sometimes lead to unintentional bias in teaching, as educators may unknowingly impose their own views on their students. The fact that it's too idealistic, CLP focus on challenging power structures and promoting social change may be seen unrealistic or difficult to implement in classrooms, especially those classrooms with limited resources or in political restrictive environments. And lastly, the fact that it's hard to assess critical thinking, since CLP focuses on developing critical awareness and engaging with complex, often subjective issues. It can be difficult for teachers to measure a students' growth or grade them in a standardized way. Some examples in which we can find CLP in classrooms would be in teachers questioning controversial historic figures, and having open discussions about social injustices, and exploring themes like race, gender, social class, or nationality. And lastly, analyzing the role of media in language, which leads me to my sample activity. Um, this sample activity is about students who receive two real headlines about the same news event, for example, in this case, immigration. And in groups, the students may compare the language, tone, and perspective of the text. They also should discuss the power dynamics and ideology reflected, and finally, create their own headlines. And that's all. Thank you for listening.